Serena Williams' ex-coach suggests the change he'd make to Coco Gauff's serve to solve her problems. Coco Gauff has continued to struggle on her serve despite working with a biomechanics coach for the best part of 6 months. Gauff, the American #1, hired biomechanics specialist Gavin McMillan last August in the hope of fixing her troublesome serve. McMillan is widely regarded as an expert in his field and previously helped Aryna Sabalenka to correct her serve. However, McMillan's influence on Gauff's serve appears to have been limited so far, as the 21-year-old continues to hit double faults at an alarming rate. Rick Matchey, the former coach of the Williams sisters, has weighed in on Gauff's serve and suggested how the American can improve the shot. Rick Matchey says Coco Gauff should change to a platform stance on her serve. Rick Matchey, the former coach of Serena and Venus Williams, is an authority on all things tennis and an individual who continues to offer his thoughts on the current affairs of the ATP and WTA tours. The American coach, who has also worked with Andy Roddick and Maria Sharapova, believes progress has been made on Coco Gauff's serve despite her recent double fault troubles. In a post on X, formerly Twitter, Matchey said, "Coco and her serve is biomechanically better. Gavin identified the real problems and I see it is stabilized. But because she is double-jointed and her wires are so free-flowing, she has more shake and bake that causes extra movements in the arm without trying. I would go to a tight platform stance and put her on lockdown from the ground. Be in a cylinder bubble and no more double." Gauff's serve preparation would change significantly if she heeds Matchey's advice. The American currently hits her serve using a pinpoint stance, bringing the back foot up to meet the front foot during the loading phase. If Gauff were to switch to a platform stance, she would keep her feet apart throughout the service motion. What did Coco Gauff say about her serve after hiring Gavin McMillan? After defeating Alya Tomiljanovic in the US Open first round, Gauff discussed how she would look to alter her serve. "I think it's all mechanics," Gauff said, as per Olympics.com. "Now it actually makes sense, and now it's just really trusting that new motion in those moments. When I do it, it's always a good result. It's just reminding myself how to do it. I'm trying not to become as obsessed with it, but it is a bit because this is the part of my game that needs to improve if I want to get the results that I want. It's a new motion, at times I can do it well, at times not so well. When I do it, it's always a good result. It's just reminding myself how to do it." Gauff will find out her next opponent on Monday when the Indian Wells draw is released. Gauff has never won Indian Wells. She achieved her best result in 2024, reaching the semifinals before losing to Maria Sakkari. Last year, Gauff reached the 4th round before losing to Belinda Bencic. Reimagining a service. What Serena Williams' ex-coach would change in Coco Gauff's serve. In the high-stakes arena of elite tennis, every detail matters. The serve, a player's first weapon in every point, can make or break a match. It's the shot that puts pressure on opponents before a rally begins, the start of every exchange of speed, spin, strategy, and nerve. For Coco Gauff, one of the brightest stars in women's tennis, her serve has long been a subject of conversation, not because it is powerful, but because it remains inconsistent, erratic, and at times a liability. This inconsistency has invited commentary from fans, analysts, opponents, and even legendary coaches. None more intriguing than the recent suggestion from Rick Matchey, the coach who played an instrumental role in the early development of Serena Williams, about the precise change he would make to Gauff's serve to solve her problems. The problem? A serve that shines and struggles. Before exploring Matchey's suggestion, it's important to understand the nature of Gauff's serving challenges. Although Gauff has risen to become one of the top players in the world, capturing major titles, competing fiercely at the highest stages, and displaying athleticism and strategic maturity, her serve remains a glaring vulnerability. Analysts have noted not just occasional double faults but a pattern of inconsistency, particularly on her second serve. This weakness has often allowed opponents back into matches and undermined Gauff's ability to control momentum. Experts have debated the root cause. Is it technical, mental, or a combination of both? Some observe that her serve, while capable of dangerously fast deliveries, doesn't yet have the rhythm and reliability that make a true weapon. Others point out that she frequently performs flawlessly in practice, yet struggles to transfer that precision into match play, a classic sign of psychological pressure. Matchie's key suggestion: switch to a platform stance. Amid these contrasting views, Rick Matchie offered a clear and distinctly technical prescription. According to recent reports, Matchie suggested that Gauff switch her service stance to a platform position, a change he believes could immediately help address her serving struggles. To the casual observer, the difference between a platform stance and a pinpoint stance, Gauff's more common approach, may seem subtle. The platform stance keeps the feet wider apart and more stable, while the pinpoint brings them together before launching into the serve. But to coaches and biomechanics experts, this is a fundamental shift in balance, timing, and kinetic flow. In Matchie's view, grounded in decades of coaching top talent, adopting a platform stance could increase consistency and allow Gauff to better manage her lower body alignment, energy transfer, and rhythm in the motion. The goal isn't to generate more power, her athleticism already provides eye-catching ball speed, but to strengthen predictability and reduce double faults, the Achilles heel of her game. Why this matters: the art and science of the serve. In tennis, the serve is uniquely solitary. Unlike rallies, where strategy, positioning, and patterns adapt to an opponent's responses, the serve is, quite literally, a shot into the unknown. The server dictates the first action, the receiver reacts. The margin for error is tiny because one misstep becomes a fault, and two faults end the point instantly. At the professional level, the difference between a reliable second serve and a risky one can determine championships. Gauff's struggles are not merely statistical anomalies, they reflect deeper issues of timing, balance, and confidence at the very start of each point. When a player isn't grounded in the stance, or their body isn't aligned in a way that consistently supports the toss, leg drive, and trunk rotation, both power and precision suffer. In high-pressure moments, such as break points or tight sets, these small mechanical imperfections can become glaring problems. This is where Matchie's suggestion gains credence. The platform stance, used effectively by many elite players, emphasizes stability first, giving the player a reliable foundation from which to launch every serve. It doesn't guarantee perfection, no stance can. But as a structural change, it might help Gauff anchor herself at the moment her performance becomes most critical. A mental reset through physical change? What makes this suggestion especially compelling isn't just its technical nature, but the psychological transformation it could represent.